When did you first find out that season 6 would be separated into 3 parts, and how did that impact the writing process this time around?
Well, that was really our idea. We knew that we wanted to enter this as the final season of the show, but knew that 10 episodes was not enough to land all the stories that we had. So we had conversations with Sony and Netflix to find that right number. 20 felt like too many, and 15 just felt like the right spot. So it allowed for us to have it as sort of 3 separate chapters in our minds. It was the idea of, we have 15, let's do 5, 5, and 5. We write 3 acts. And every season of Cobra Kai, we always write them, when we have 10 episodes, we write to a midpoint and then we write to the end. So we're used to writing in those 5-episode chunks and writing those sort of, mid-season cliffhangers. Now we got to do 2 of them. So it was something that we were really excited about, and we're thrilled that the fans have a long goodbye for the show.
What would you say to a fan who's sitting there and says to themselves, I just want all 15 episodes right now? What is it about spreading out the release that you think is going to ultimately serve the season 6 story better?
It's funny because the analogy is, the parent telling the kid to pace it out. You'll enjoy it more. And it's true. I love the desire to just binge and go nonstop, but when you think about what 15 episodes would be, you'd start to get tired. Your body would start to break down at a certain point. And I just think the 5-episode chunk, it's our show is a little bit over a half hour, so it becomes like a 3-hour experience. So it's bigger than an Avengers movie coming out in terms of runtime. And you're going to watch that, and you're going to take all that in, and there's going to be more within the year, so you don't have to wait, seasons. So for us, it's like 3 big, jolts of, Karate Kid, Cobra Kai story that you get. And it should be satisfying, and it's the type of thing you're not going to get tired and sleeping at 4 a.m. trying to watch them all.
I do like the fact that it preserves the conversation too. I like the fact that I'm going to have a couple of months to talk about it before we jump into the next bit. One more writing question, because I'm curious if this played a factor at all. The new Karate Kid movie, did that influence the writing of season 6 at all?
It did not. That was an arm's length project, for Sony. That's parallel development with the Sony feature team. We were, shown an early copy of that script and did give some thoughts and notes as take it or leave it kind of helpfulness to that filmmaker and to the feature team. But we're writing, within our own, part of the universe here, and bringing everything to a head, bringing everything to fruition, and landing the mothership the way that we always intended.
I like the sound of that. All right, specific character question now. I'm sure you love all of these characters dearly, but of all the main characters in the show, is there any particular one that wound up becoming more creatively fulfilling to write a season 6 arc for than you ever could have imagined at the start?
Certainly Tori, I would say, she wasn't even in season 1. Since she came in season 2, she was already a compelling character as sort of a rival to Samantha. But, seeing, Peyton List's talents, even back then, she was somebody that we loved writing towards. And over the seasons, we built out her story. And this felt like, a big season with this world tournament and so much at stake for these young people as they're entering their senior year of high school. To have somebody like her who, comes from a single-parent household and a mother who is sick, and for her to be dealing with the kinds of things that she deals with in this first 5, just as she's finally, at peace and having good relationships with people and, in a better place, it allowed for us to go to some big places for her, and not just in the first 5, but throughout the season, and she rose to the occasion in a major way.
Her performance in episode 5, that's like next level stuff, and I hope it is honored as such. She might be the answer to this, but of all the main characters in the show, who do you think is ultimately going to be the most changed by the end of the series?
Wow. All the characters go through a roller coaster and of a character arc. At the end, I'll just say, I think, look at Johnny, and where he started in episode 1. He's already come so far at the top of episode 6, or at the top of season 6. But, we of course are going to put him through another roller coaster this season. And, there's still like a significant amount of growth that character needs. And, so you'll see how that all plays out. But I really feel like, Johnny is the archetypal, look at where he started and where he ended.
I'll squeeze in one more question before I ask one spoiler question. You guys know I'm greedy. Last we spoke in November, you were telling me that there hasn't been much motion on a potential spin-off series. Has anything changed between then and now?
There's a lot that we're thinking about. There's not a lot we can talk about yet, but I can say, you know us. We love this franchise. We never stop talking about this franchise. We talk about contemporary spin-offs. We talk about spin-offs that take place 80 or 90 years ago, and we continue to look to the future and the fandom and our partners at Sony and Netflix to help us determine when we can begin to talk about some of that stuff.
I'll take it. I'll always be greedy with you guys in this show.